Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arissa and this is Arissa Root Art. And today I am doing some painted turtles. I'm speeding through the part where I poured them. This is using Magic Pour by Eco Resin and the Resincrete by Diction. I'm just using both of them because I did. But I just wanted to show you the first part where I poured these, and then I'm gonna pop back in when they're all demolded and taped up and ready to paint. So let's do that. Some turtles I poured. This is, two of them are Resincrete Eco Resin and two of them are Magic Pour by Eco Resin. The Eco Resin is by, what is Eco Resin by? The Diction. That's right. So Diction's Resincrete or the Magic Pour by Eco Resin. So I am going to bloom on these. I've got a bunch of colors here that are just random colors that I mixed. I've got my base. I'm going to first bloom on these and let them dry. And then I'm going to paint the bodies in kind of a metallic-y, metal looking paint effect. And then I'll spray them and varnish them. But the lovely thing about this is that because this is just that resin, those Eco Resins, I made these several days ago, so they're nice and dry completely. This will dry really quickly, and I do appreciate that because I want to get this project done so I can publish it by Sunday, and today is Friday, so I don't have that much time. But it will dry quickly. I'm just setting up a grate here to let them dry fully off of my surface. And so I have my cell activators here. I have black, white, and the pink that I made last time. I think the first one, I kind of want to make her girly. I have 3 of this kind, 1 of this shape, and then I have a couple little pigs that I may do. I'm not quite sure about that. But I'm going to use these 3 colors, maybe 4. I'm going to use these 4 colors. I have some gold here. If I'd like to sprinkle a little bit, I am not quite sure. I'm going to put a little bit of my base coat in, quickly put down my colors, puff them with my mouth today, and then for this first one, I'm going to use the black and the white only. Then we'll let it drip, and this will be the fast part. So I'm going to take my house paint and pour it into a smaller thing so I don't pour too much. And you do not need a lot of house paint on here. In fact, you don't want a lot of house paint on here because you're going to, because it's going to dry so quickly. So I think I actually may use a big brush and brush it on. So I'm just going to use a brush and kind of wet it with the house paint. But then after you do this part, you really do have to be ready because it will dry so quickly. But you just don't need a lot. And I taped it up because the majority of the body I want covered. I'm only painting the shells. But I'm only putting this house paint on for a bit of slip so the colors have somewhere to be. And I'm going to do a single bloom here in the center for this one. Like that. And as far as the color order, I'm going to go, my base will be this deeper purple. Then I'm going to do brighter purple, my blue, and then my bright pink. And then I'm going to do my white and then my black. Just like this. And then you blow. Spots I can, that one I'll blow off. I'm going to lift this up. In fact, let me grab a palette knife, and that way I don't have to lift it up too much. I can just kind of put some color there from the bottom of my pitcher because it will continue to drain, but it won't drain so quickly because this is such a porous surface. And so I don't really want to add more paint. And I'm not really worried about the bottom. I will paint the bottom. And so I didn't tape the bottom of this. I won't go crazy and just let it be. But that is my first. Just soften that a bit. All the white that's there of the shell is covered. this is covered enough because I actually don't want that to be colored. So that's my first. It's super, super simple. I will wipe off this just because I don't want the color to be on the bottom of each cell because it's just something more I'd have to cover up. So just use a towel, wipe this picture clean, which is part of the reason I elevated off of my surface so I can wipe clean without worrying about it just soaking into my table covering here. All right, so that's my first. I think I'm gonna do kind of a camo effect on this next one. So I've got a couple of greens, a gold, and a brown. There's the other green I want to use. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I have to decide in which order. I'm gonna do my base dark green, my gold, my brown, and then my light green, I think. So let me again brush my turtle shell with some paint just to wet it. There we go, just like that. I don't know if my head's getting in this picture, but it's the end of a long week. So if my hair looks crazy, y'all, endure, please. I'm like, it's been a long week and it's Friday and I'm tired. And this is what we get at the end of a week. All right, I think I'm gonna go black and then white on this one. All right, I love how that looks. Let me clean off my palette knife so I can get the drags and the drips and collect them. Oh, I can collect this right here because it will continue to drag a little bit, but not too much. This is a little bit too blue for me, so I'm gonna put some of the green here. And just blow that out a bit. Like that. This one right here is a little muddy. So I'm just gonna get some of my green and put it right there. And let that fall as it will. Okay. I'm gonna do the last one like this. Whoops. Oh, this one's pretty much covered on the bottom, so I'm not gonna clean that off. And I've got some blues I think I'm gonna focus on. So I have a darker blue. I have my bright blue here. And I think I'll do my purple. And clean that off. And do my little brush layer. It's nice because you really are not using that much paint, which is excellent. Because you don't want a lot because you want this to dry and it's gonna drip if you have too much. So you don't want a lot because you want it to dry. And also, if you just put too much, it's all gonna drag off. And I don't want that. I want it to have that grit. I want this to soak up my paint so it starts to dry quickly and stops moving. So I think I'm gonna go with this purple first. Maybe I'll try 2 for here. And then I'll do the light. I'll do a little gold on this one since I haven't done any gold yet. Well, I guess I just did it, right? Silly girl. Just a touch of gold. And my blue. I'm gonna do my pink and my white this time. I've got a clean palette knife here. I'm gonna only take samples from the legs just because I forgot to take that. I forgot the other reason I need to take the green off is because I don't want green in this piece. So I'm just gonna take the blue from the legs because I know that's not gonna include any of the green from the previous turtle. There we go. Just made that a little muddy right there. So I'm gonna put some truer color right there. There we go. That looks cool. All right, now let's do this big bulbous one. I love this one, but I will clean this off. People laugh at me because whenever I wash my hands in the kitchen, I don't get rid of my paper towels because I've just used them on clean hands. And I bring them in this room because I don't like wasting paper towels. So I'm fairly, I try to be pretty cheap because paper towels are very expensive and I don't want to waste them. So I don't. And that is just going to be the way this is. I'm going to go Seahawks colors. I live in Washington. I don't watch football at all, but let's do some Seahawks colors. Why not? So the green and the blue, we don't have any silver because I think there's silver in their colors, but I do have an icy blue. So I'm going to do that just to give it a little light. And so let me brush this one. I really like this turtle shape. So I'm definitely going to make more of these. I just didn't have time to make more of these when I was doing my other video. I was doing this when I did a resin, my latest resin video. And so I didn't have time to make more of these. So I think I'm going to start with a little blue on the bottom, the little light blue, cover it with the dark blue, and then finish with the lime green. Not really covering too much of everything. So just like that. And just a touch more of this blue. Then I'm going to go black and then white today, or for this one. This shape is so much easier though too. Your colors stay in place a lot more. That one does take a lot more to run down. So I may actually do another puddle on top of this one, right on top of it. This looks really cool, but I do want it to run. And I forgot this shape of this one doesn't run down as easily because you're just not putting, you have like a weird different surface area. Touch more blue, black and then white. That should be enough to let it run. And if not, I'll catch it like so and make it run by touching the wet paint. And then it will run because this one has kind of a lip to its shell. So you really want to make sure you get it in there. So there's like a little bend on this one. It will run eventually. You just have to give it a moment. Like back here, I'm missing some. I have the head covered up completely, so I can go ahead and pick this up and just kind of get it back here on the back of my shell. So it hits that bend and runs over like that. And I like the first blowout a little better. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna add them a little more? Probably, because I'm a little weird. So just a touch more. Because again, I'm blowing the majority of this off. It's gonna run off. I'm not really worried about it leaving too much paint on there. So it will blow off. Not as much green this time, I think. Yeah, like that. Black and then white. Right in the center. There we go. And I'm just gonna let that one be. It's gonna run. I'm gonna put it on this tray over here because that way it won't pull at all, and it will continue to run until it's done running. Now, do I wanna do my little pigs? They're pretty cute. I didn't tape them or anything because they're just kind of fun. And I'm gonna do pink pigs because pigs and pink pigs are fun. And so let me get this cleaned up. And so these are the little pigs. As you can see, the mold was even messy. I don't care because I'm painting over this. So I'm not worried about the mold at all. So for this one though, to try to get it all the way down and around is gonna be interesting. Maybe I'll leave I won't worry about the snout and the tail and the ears. Or the feet. So my goal is to get the body painted. I guess I should have chosen colors, but I did not. So I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna go with my pinks, obviously. And I think I'll just go with these two colors today. And maybe a little gold. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm excited. Let's do a pink pig. I'm gonna do a little dollop to make it run a bit like that, because this is gonna be hard to get it all the way down and around this pig. I think it's gonna take a lot more than I think it's gonna take. I'm just gonna go around the ears to make sure it runs that way. And under the tail to kind of get everything moving. So I don't have any blank spots. A little bit of the gold, just kind of here and there. I'm gonna go pink. No, I want black. I'm gonna go black and then white. And luckily, I'm not worried about the snout. So, which is really cute, by the way. So I can grab the snout and the tail to pick this little guy up because I'm not worried about those two things. Oop, maybe I can do it. Or I can use my palette knife. I do want to get under his chin because I do want that covered. There we go. And I'm gonna let this guy, I'm gonna move my other turtle, drip on my pan here. Ooh, he's adorable. And I have one more pig, and then we're gonna be done with this part, and then we'll come back. Oh, that little pig is a cute little pig. I may actually leave those ears because they turned out well. I have one little part of the ear that's missing, some of the lighter pink, so I'll do that. But the ear is actually pretty adorable on those, so we'll have to see. And maybe I'll paint its little bum, its little tail, just to see in case I like it. So I'll give him a little bit of a tail. There we go. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's do one more. I don't want to just waste this pink because this is all just pinks. So I'm going to actually put it on my next pig rather than waste. And I think I will do another pink pig, but with the darker, the more muted purple. There we go. Let me pour this little guy. Maybe I could just swirl the pig because it's so cute. Alas, I don't have patience enough for that. So I'm going to still brush my pig or make sure it's all wet all over. I can't really brush it. I can brush it, but I just can't go back into my white. So I get one chance to brush this one. Get under his chin because I did forget that part last time. Make sure it's all wet. And we'll go with our little darker purple color. I'll address under his chin in a bit. And my brighter pink color. All over, under his little tail. Ooh. Behind his ear here. I'll do all three colors. How about that? The first color hits a little silvery because it's got silver in it. There we go. And I will do my bright pink here. And I will do my black. His little ear hole is white, so I'll definitely have to paint those. The other ear hole is white. I didn't even see that there. This will develop. It'll just take a bit. I'm going to get under his chin with some color and let it drip. I'll leave the sides as they are this time rather than putting that color on it. I do want a little bit of the darker color here though, so there's some interest. Love it. His little bum is just one color, so I'm gonna add some color there. There we go. All right, you guys, I'm going to let these dry. I will come back in the next day. I'll probably come back tomorrow. I'll give you a close-up today, but I'll come back tomorrow and show you these dry. And we'll paint the bodies. One moment. All right, guys, these are all dry. It is, I think, the next day. I don't remember. I think it's the next day. It's Saturday now. Did I do these Friday? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm going to paint the bodies. They dried really well. There they are. There's this one. And then my two little pigs. You can, so if you wanted to, you could peel the paint off of these. Once you seal them, they don't peel off so easily, but I wanted the pig's ears and snout and tail to not be the pour, so I just peeled that paint off of there. I used a blade to score the paint and then peeled it off. So now I'm going to paint the bodies. All of them are probably going to be more metallic-y, and in order to do that, I always start with a base coat of black. Got paint on me already. On the whole body. Let me get my heat gun so I can dry each layer here. So I start with a base coat of black, and then I kind of layer colors on top of it, lighter, darker. This is my little metallic palette I have here. So I've got some gold, some kind of the iridescent blue, black, copper. This is like a red. It's an acrylic red, but it's like a dark crimson red. I've got some white, I have some bronze, and I have some green and silver. So I don't need a lot of paint for this. I've just got my cheap little paint brushes. So the first thing I'm gonna do is paint a layer of black on each one of these. I've got my cheap paint brushes. I've got my Meeden Oxide Black, intense black, not oxide black, just as a base layer. So I am gonna put some music on. I'm gonna start painting these and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna paint each one black first, so I can just get rid of this brush. So I will fast forward and be back. And just like that, I realized I don't like cheap paint. So Meeden is not terrible, I don't know it that well, but you see how it's an opaque color, but you can see right through it? I already don't want to deal with that. So I am going to get my oxide black, my Amsterdam oxide black out. So I shake mine just so it comes into the lid, and that way I don't have to go deep into that little bucket, a little bottle of paint. So now let's see the difference with the opacity. Let me get the Meeden nonsense off. So you see how I did that one? I think there should be a difference. Yeah, definitely a bigger difference. I'm not liking this brush. It's a little too jacked. So I'm gonna get a new brush. And then let me put that brush in water. I don't have to get rid of it though. Let me see, what brush do I want to use? One that's just a little better. Yeah. Got it. Okay, yeah, just a little bit better. I'm gonna soften it up just a little bit. It's a little stiff. All right, so now I will fast forward and get this done.
Very, very
I had to leave this little interaction with my daughter in because it was so funny because she was just telling me about her day, but she didn't know I was recording. And in the end, when I started talking to the camera again, her face was just hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Which is really weird. Yeah. He didn't get a chance to really ask me out because like our store manager talked to him about it because it got like really weird. But I was sitting there making ice cream. He looked at me, he was like, hey, you want to sip my drink?
Gross. No.
What? I said, no, I'm okay. But it was just like, one, ew, that's gross, don't ask somebody that. Two, if you're gonna ask a girl if they want to sip your drink, don't let it be a 20-minute-year-old frap that's half melted that you're already drinking out of.
Yeah.
That's gross.
It's nasty.
It's like, it's basically all the way melted, and you're just already drinking out of it. It's just like, that's what he said. He like pointed, he was like, hey, want to sip my drink? No, I'm okay.
That's nasty.
I'm okay. Wait, I'm okay. I was like, why would you ask me that? That is so weird.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
Oh, that's so gross. And then I don't know why he thinks that this is like a dating place.
Yeah. I mean,
So I'm like,
maybe he doesn't get out a lot, and work is where he got it.
I don't care.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Why
That's
Tinder?
nasty. Ew, why Tinder? So many other options.
No, I don't have dating apps.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm done with the base coat. So I'm going to let them dry. Sorry, my daughter was just telling me a work story. She didn't know I was recording, but I'm going to cut her out, so I don't know why she's weird about it. I'm going to let these dry, and then I will be back to put some color on top. One moment. All right, it's all dry. I was going to dry it with my heat gun, but I just went downstairs and made myself a smoothie, and by the time I got back up, it was dry. So no heat gun required. I'm going to get a couple of little, I'm going to do my little tiny makeup brushes for the application of the color. And so for the color, so you saw I painted everything but the part that was actually going to touch the surface of wherever this sits. I will seal the surface And I may paint it later, but it just wasn't a concern right now because I need to paint this, so I needed to be able to sit down. So for this first one, oh, and also you saw the lovely thing about painting this with house paints is that if I got black paint on it, like I just did again, I can just clean it off with some alcohol because house paint stays like that. And so I can clean it all off and it will be fine. So making hiking plans tomorrow. I'm excited. I love hiking. All right. So I think for this one, I'm going to go with the coppers, gold, and yeah, coppers and gold for this one. Maybe a little bit of the maroony type color. And so I'm just going to get, I don't know if I want to use this brush. We'll see because these are somewhat stiff. And so all I do when I want to stipple and make this more metallic looking is I use a lot of my fingers, but I get the paint on and then kind of just stipple it in, taking some off with my fingers, brushing it so there's you can see the black. If there's too much on there, I'll wet my paintbrush a little bit, take some off. I usually have my black open too, so I can come and correct. So let me do that. And I don't necessarily rinse the colors off this paintbrush before I put more colors on because I do want them all to blend. So that's kind of how I get my metallic looks to my pieces. So I'm going to do my gold first, kind of go over it like that, kind of stipple it in a bit, not forgetting the bottom, take my black if I need it, correct, give some more dark points to it. So it's not so blaringly gold on top of black. And so sometimes I just use my finger, put the excess on the parchment paper, and then go in and just do some more. And so this is how I do my metallic looking painted turtles, and I love them. So I'm going to definitely fast forward through all of this because it's going to take a while for me to do all of them because there's always layers to these. And where I didn't get paint, I can get it like that. Now, again, not forgetting the underside of these pieces, so they all are all painted. And then get some black, correct it, get some more shadow in there again. And so that's what you get when you start painting your metallic colors to create that metal effect on your Resincrete or Eco Resin turtles. So I will fast forward to all this and we'll come back and I'll show you in the end. Okay, so for this one, I actually, for the green, I kind of, because I have that copper in it, it reminded me of more of a patina. And so rather than putting it all over, I stuck to a path where like sun would hit and oxidation would happen. And so I didn't put as much green in this because I just wanted like moments of it, not over. This has got green in it, and the blue undertone is more of like, it would be a reflection, I guess you would say, of something in here, rather than there's blue in here. Because it's a blue black, it's going to be iridescent, and it's going to shimmer at a different tone depending on your angle. And so for the blue, this is mostly black and copper. You get a little hint of the blue everywhere once in a while, but then for the green, it would be, again, those areas where the sun and oxidation would happen, that maximum exposure, those kind of points of exposure. And so that's why I put the green kind of along his ridge, like at the top of his feet, and then along the ridge of his tail, and again on his collar. And like his eyes and his little nose. But that's that one. So now I'm going to turn off the camera, kind of get this done, so you guys don't have to watch too long of a video, and I'll come back when I'm ready to spray this. And that will be just in a few hours because this dries so quickly, because this is unfinished Eco Resin, so everything soaks in. You can see it's dry. I just want it to really dry, and then I will be back to spray it. Bye, y'all. All right, you guys, these are all done. They are glossed up with my Minwax, and I haven't done the bottoms yet. I'll do those later. But I love how they turned out. The bottom, the painted part of the bottom is definitely all varnished and protected. And I am super happy with these. I did take a pen and some different things and kind of add outline to their shells, just so there's a little definition. I think I like it, but it's cool. I like how they turned out. So this one I did a little more in the blue, the little iridescent blue black by Pebeo. This one's got all three of the metallics in it and just a little green here and there, but that's the copper, the gold. I didn't put any silver, but copper, gold, and a little bit of green on that one. Love this one so much. This one's, I think, one of my favorites. Love how, but I also like this shell. This turtle form so much better than these, but I am super happy, and I love the pigs. I just think the pigs are super cute. I did just a little bit of colorful nonsense on them, and I am thrilled. But what do you guys think of my little painted turtles? The last time I had these last year, and I did the Portland Holiday Market. It's a 3-day event. They sold super well. I sold out. So I'm definitely starting early, making a few more. I have a big market coming up in 2 weeks, so I've been doing that and making coasters and stuff for that. But I wanted to show you my turtles. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give it a try. It's super fun. I love doing this on the Resincrete. This only takes a couple days because that Resincrete, like I said, the Eco pours are unfinished, so they really absorb that paint really quickly. They will peel off if you don't seal it, so you do have to seal them. But barring any, attempt at peeling them off, they're gonna last forever. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. I'll get you some pictures. Bye.